I think that the avatar that you're given as a player really, really dramatically affects two things. It affects the gameplay experience and affects the sort of dramatic perspective that you have on the game. And I'll give you a weird example, but it was one where it really, I mean, I'd always thought about this for a long time, but it really rang home and sort of proved out a theory that I had, which was we were doing a demo of Halo 3 for the Japanese press. We'd done US press, and our demo was, you fight through a jungle, and then you have to grab a machine gun turret and shoot this phantom, and of course, when you grab a machine gun turret in Halo, it goes into third person, and we don't sell a lot of Halo in Japan. We have a really hardcore following there, but they don't like first-person games, basically. And I knew this, and my theory was that they like stories that are about a character. Even in the way that they name games, you'll see Legend of this and Secret of that, and it's about, it's just this distancing perspective. And that's because they enjoy the narrative and they enjoy hearing about this person's experience, right? Not necessarily living it themselves, at least as video games are concerned. And I think that when we did that demo and switched to third person on the chain gun, they literally gasped. It was like, it's not, we didn't invent it, and there's plenty of other games, but it was a Halo experience that they were interested in and a universe that they wanted to like, but they just didn't want to play it in first person. They wanted to play it in third person. And so I knew that at least part of that thinking was accurate. But I think there's simpler things, right? If you're in a first person shooter, you're just taking away obstacles to your view of the world, right? And it's not just necessarily about simulating being there, which is a huge part of it. If you're in the eyes of the player, you're going to feel more like you are that character than if you were in a third person view. But it also just removes obstacles. Now I can see more. That means I can, climb easier or shoot things faster or board this vehicle more efficiently because there's nothing in my way, including a big giant dude, right, with jeans and muscles, which is what your third person character looks like. And so I think there's layers and layers and layers of reasons why perspective really matters in video games. From the sterile, I can just see more of the game, all the way to the sort of deeply philosophical, I do not want to be this person, I want to observe this person. And I think all of those matter, and they all feed into it. And driving games are funny because some people love playing in the really distant perspective, so they're seeing the rear of their car, which is a kind of a god's eye view of what's going on. And some people just want to get rid of everything so that there's no intrusions into their field of view, and they can just enjoy this experience of speed where they're literally on the bumper of the car. And then you've got people who like to see the hood of the car and maybe even a little bit of the inside of the cockpit. All in the service of different experiences. Some people want a real simulation of what it's like to really drive. Some people want to eschew all that nonsense and just get to the experience of going fast. And some people want to gaze lovingly at the cars that they enjoy. And they're all totally different, but they're all playing the same game, and they're all given that tool within the game. So I think that it'd be... I think it's foolish to pin it on any one thing, because I think it's lots of different audiences with lots of different reasons.